Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshire, on the show in this pre-match European tie, Europa League qualifier against Jablonec. I pronounced that right, you know me. It's the one and only Port there. Evening, Port.
Evening, mate. How we doing?
Good, mate. Good. You?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Looking forward to a wee European tie after a wee positive result at the weekend. Aye.
Yes, I believe
ready
you've
to
got
go.
the team for us, mate.
Certainly have, mate. Starting 11, we've got Panda in goal, Tujo and Sterling, Macania, Fernandez, Penrice, Dan Neil, Evanja Dragijevic, Yakota, Chukwani, Gassama, and Ryan Nadiri up front.
Right, here's a question for you, Port Bill. Before you do the substitutes, yeah?
Yeah, on you go.
Who's the longest serving player on that team for Rangers?
Starting lineup.
Aye.
Sterling.
Yes, well done, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Carry on. Substitutes.
Substitutes are the new signing Costa Nericevic, Shankland, Asgard, Leo Cameron, Liam Kelly, Ross McCausland, Ross McCrory, Connor Barron, Cammy Devlin, Bojan Miovski, Nico Raskin, and Finlay Curtis.
Okay, right. I was surprised at the back four. I don't think so. I think the main talking point tonight will be Nico Raskin not started. Thoughts?
Aye. Well documented today on most news outlets. Fenerbahce sniffing about Raskin, talking about record bids, and we know a lot of money's been spent right now in Turkey. Not just on teeth and hair. They're spending a lot of money in the football transfer window, mate. So a lot of big signings being made out in that neck of the woods at the moment. So maybe they just don't want to take the risk and have another Chermiti situation, mate.
Yeah, or it could be as simple as he's not quite there yet and he's played 3 games. This would be his 4th game in 10 days, wouldn't it? Is that about right?
Aye. You know, it could be that, mate. It could be that. But it's probably a bit of both. Probably a bit of both. Protect your investment. That's what I'll say.
All
Protect
right,
your
mate.
investment.
Fair enough, mate. Right. Let's get the phone lines open and then we'll hear for the gaffer, Derry McInnes, if that's all right with you.
I'm good with that, mate. Let's go.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Derek, it's the first leg of the UEFA Conference League playoff off the back of such a positive afternoon on Sunday. How have preparations been for this one?
Yeah, obviously the result was much needed. I thought the performance was good in the main. To score 5 goals is obviously very pleasing. I thought we showed good attacking threat throughout the game. The thing that I thought we had was good control a lot of the game. And we had some good counter-attacking movements, and we also had some good build-up play. So all in all, it was a good afternoon. We just now need to follow that up. The intention is to be something similar. I do think we'll need to play at a similar level to get a victory tonight. And obviously, I mean, a 2-leg tie, it's important we try and be as strong as we can be tonight before we go over to the Czech Republic. Just one change tonight. Dan Neil comes in for Nico Raskin. What's the thinking behind that one? It's just really managing Nico. Nico's got a wee issue with his ankle at the minute, and we're just trying to manage that situation and his minutes, to be honest. So ordinarily we'd like to have kept the same team, but Nico had picked, he'd got an injection on Sunday after the game, and we're just trying to manage that. So Dan comes in, you know, it's an opportunity for Dan, and it's an opportunity for everybody else to go and try and follow up what was a positive performance. So we've got a decent bench as well, and good options there to turn to. But hopefully, as I say, we start in a similar manner which we did on Sunday, and we can get the crowd into it, get off to a winning start, and try and build on that from early on in the game.
I'll just touch on Kosta Nedeljkovic. He's in the squad for the first time. What's he brought in these early stages?
Yeah, real enthusiasm yesterday in training. We'll call him Costa, I think. It's a bit easier. But I think what he is he's shown an eagerness to come here, which is really pleasing, because we weren't the only club that were keen to get him. Obviously his relationship with Anya as well is strong. But he plays with real enthusiasm, real energy, real confidence in his play. I think he gives us a different option from that area of the pitch. So obviously he's young, and we've got to be understanding that, but hopefully we can help get those improvements in him. But underneath it all is just a good player there with real potential.
Just lastly, in terms of the game tonight, Jablonec as well, what are you expecting?
Yeah, so obviously a team who started the season well. They've got some strong individual players, like most teams. You know, they've got some key players within it. And having watched them come through their qualifying games, you know, they can jump from a back four to a back five at times. So we've tried to prepare against both situations. But you know, I think for us, we've got to try and concentrate ourselves. I don't think there'll be any real surprises from them, having watched them. We've got a good handle on them, but I think it's important we play the game at our pace and have at our tempo, and try and take the benefit from that. But they are a decent side, as you'd expect, and I think they're a team that play with a bit of confidence, so it's up to us to try and knock that confidence out of them.
There you go. If you take the manager at your word, Nico Raskin.
I'm still 50-50. Still 50-50. Still 50-50.
Yeah.
Protection investment. that money came in handy, mate. That money came in handy to rebuild the rest of the squad. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's right.
Carry on, mate.
Sorry, mate. No, he's right. He's right what he says there. In regards to Jablonec, mate, they're unbeaten the last 6 games. Organised side, and they can go for that back five to the back three very easily when they're attacking. So all I'll say is, without being, you know, trying to promote them too much, that they're an organised side with some danger players in their team.
Mm-hmm. What was your take on the midfield at the weekend, mate? With Dragovic and Chukwani in there, mate.
Legs, legs, mate. Legs. Me and you have spoke about this till we're blue in the faces in regards to this, in regards to running power and ball carrying in the middle of the park. And I think with Chukwani and Dragovic, they give you that. They're good ball carriers. That I've not spoke to you since before the St Mirren game, in terms of, you know, that's the first good look I've had at Vanya in regards to what he's going to bring to potential to Rangers. And initially my thoughts were, when I watched him and I read reports about him, he was a 6. I thought he was a sitter. But after seeing him, he's only 20 obviously, he's full of enthusiasm. But after seeing him, he's much better than a 6, mate. He's a lot better than I initially thought what we were getting. His run power, I know that mistake was in his game there, the short pass for the weekend, and he cost us the goal. But by God, did he make up for it with his goal and his running power, and he's willing to get to the edge of that box. He made a shot just before it. He scored the goal. I mean, somebody from midfield that's going to, you know, hopefully score double figures on what we're seeing, mate. So and Chukwani, especially the second half, mate, I thought he done the very, very same thing. Just ran, gave his legs, gave his power, and Raskin was that protector sitting in front of the back four. And I'm pretty sure Daniel did that job at night. I know some people think Chukwani's going to play a 10 role, but he won't, mate. He'll just get in between Dragovic at times and Daniel, and they'll make it tight in there at times when we're under pressure. But I like it because his legs in there, mate. I really enjoy it. And took one, he's got a chance to also drop in and help if we're getting overrun in there,
Well,
which is one of your big problems at times.
well, two of these players played in Poland, and weren't great. So let's hope they take the form for Sunday into the night's game. But I agree with you. I thought Chukwani had an excellent game, and young Dragovic was. I think he did a real decent game as well with his attitude and his enthusiasm. I think he's more than that, Port. I think he's got technique about him. So watch this space, mate. Watch this space, yeah.
I totally agree with that, mate. As I said, don't want to put too much hype on him now, mate. But with that performance, and as I said, I know he's young. He's 20, mate, and he's keeping a club with this. But it's his attitude. I don't know. I always find when we sign players for that sort of neck of the woods, like we've signed guys like Puzzle in the back in the past and stuff. We've had players for that sort of neck of the woods. They always seem to be mentality-wise, Oxford, they all seem to be different. They always seem to be, they appreciate where they're getting a chance at Rangers. And this young boy looks like he's took this chance, and he showed us what we could expect. Like I said earlier on, he showed me more than I thought he was, and I'm excited to watch this young man develop at Rangers.
Aye. Right, so that looks as if it's a 4-3-3 to me, and it could even be a 4-5-1 out of possession, expecting the wide men to put a shift in. Yeah, up and down, and that's fair. Listen, mate, I don't think he's been bad. I think sometimes with Nadiri, I don't think he's been great neither. I think sometimes, this is going to sound bad, but I think sometimes a gangly player can do something, and because it's no elegant like me and you, it doesn't look so good,
Aye, his body shape, mate. He's all legs and tiny body. It does. He looks a bit like Peter Crouch was, isn't it? He just reminds you of that sort of gangly, awkward sort of type player. But again, mate, he's got a chance again. One thing he does do is works his socks off. He runs and he runs and he runs. So I'll give him a lot of credit for that. I just don't think, it's only my opinion, mate. I don't think, and this is I think why he's picking Deary. I don't think Shackland can play as a one, mate. I really don't. I don't think we're striker Lawrence Shackland can play within that same role, especially with the press and the run he's got today. That's just my opinion, of course. I've been wrong before, but I think that's one of the biggest reasons.
Disagree with you, mate. The bizarre thing about it was he played in a one in the first game in the World Cup, mate.
Yeah, I know, but look how I ended up, mate. Look how I ended up. It's different. We always say it, mate. It's different playing with Hearts and come to your club, innit? It's just different, and it's different level. When he's a better World Cup, you're out on the world stage and out there. And I've said it before, mate. This game of football is about levels.
Aye. So we're not surprised about the back four. We're hoping Big Fernandes is a decent game tonight to give him a bit of confidence, Port. Yeah.
Aye. In regards to him, mate, I did say in the last show, it should be, if there's an asset half available, it should be dropped. But at the same time, do you do that, or do you try and play him through this slump? Just keep filling with confidence and on the hope that guys with him like Dan Neal, McCann, Sterling, Penrice now. I've seen Penrice get torn into him a couple of times against St Mirren, so he did. So Penrice, again, experienced player, knows the league. So hopefully guys like them will help the big fella through this slump that he's getting through, because during that period up until a split, we were excited. I was excited about this boy, and I was excited about his future at our club. So it just needs to get held back here, mate. It just needs to get held back there. Get your head off or whatever it is, mate. He's in the clouds, he's believing his own hype. All the names it was going to put, all the clubs allegedly linking themselves with him because of the form he was in. But just get back to basics, big fella, and get your game sorted, because we know he's got it, Oxford. We definitely know he's got it. He just needs to find that form again.
I think sometimes 90% attitude, 10% ability, mate.
Aye, that's you've hit the nail on the head there, mate. It's his body language and everything for me in some of the games, and this rips my knitting right out. See this wearing his shorts halfway down his backside. pull your body shots up. I know I don't know if you've noticed it, mate, but I've noticed it and it's really annoying me. It's that he's walking about, you know, down the street, it's his summer holidays with his pals, with his shorts, happy down his backside, and it's his body language for me as well, mate. I'm not going to say his head was turned with some of the hype and some of the names that was getting branded about for him, but it certainly seemed to affect him, mate.
All right, mate. People join us all the time. Can you use the teams and the substitutes, and then we'll have the jingle to see if people will join us?
Certainly, mate. We've got Panda in goal, Penrice, Fernandez, Macania, Sterling, the back four, Daniel, Dragicevic, Yokota, Chukwani, Gasawa, and Rainadiri up front. And the substitutes are Costa, Lauren Shankland, Theo Asgard, Lyle Cameron, Liam Kelly, Ross McCausland, Ross McCrory, Connor Penn, Cammy Devlin, Bojan Miovski, Nicholas Raskin, and Finlay Curtis.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
What's your early impressions of Yokota, mate?
Nippy, mate.
See what you've
nippy.
done there, mate. I don't know. Yeah, carry on.
I know. I like him, mate. I like him. He's so positive, isn't it? He's just a bundle of energy. I wouldn't like to play against him either. He can go either way. He can come inside you. He can go around you. He's quick. He tracks back, which I enjoy as well. I enjoy the fact he tracks back. He's a wee workhorse, mate, and I like that. I like that. It's like his attitude, mate. What you said earlier on about effort, this attitude and application and stuff. He has got the right attitude, mate. He's going to be a wee star for us, I think, mate. And one of the lesser prices we'll bought for a player this year. It seems to be a bargain, mate. I'm really excited about this wee guy. So he's one of them guys you'd pay to go and see. He gets you on the edge of your seat, and when he gets the ball, it excites you.
I just want him to get the ball at the edge of the box, mate. And I'll say a criticism, but it was an observation last week. When we went to the 4-4-2, mate, and he was getting the ball so deep, I don't get it, mate. But you've got to feed him, you've got to feed him at the edge of the box, mate. He ain't that player unless it's in a counter attack. Yeah. When everybody's on the so-called low block, you don't want to give him the ball deep. I couldn't understand it, mate.
No. You want, and he needs to be. We need to see him, mate, in the final quarter of the pitch. We need to see him up there. Sitting at times. You can come inside and sit on the striker's shoulder, defender's shoulder. For a counter attack, like you're touching on here. He's got pace to burn, mate. The wee fella. Very excited about him, mate. And I think there's goals to come for this wee guy. I think there's goals. I think he's been too kind at times to set up and assist other people. And there's times when I've seen him in a couple of games he's played, when he's cutting on that left side especially, he's have a wee crack his tail, mate, because it seems to open up for him pretty well. And he's got that wee turn of pace and that wee jink and that wee trick just to get that wee yard of pace. He's just let rip his tail, mate.
Aye, if you get a chance, mate, at the right time, and you're the favourite to score, why not? Yeah.
Aye, definitely, mate, definitely. That's what Vanya done at the weekend, mate. He had a couple of efforts before his goal, and he went close. And it's a lottery. You don't shoot, you don't score. You have to have a pop, mate. If a chance presents itself and it opens up, have a pop.
Aye, he seems to like a twist and a turn in tight spaces, mate. And what I think sometimes when you're a sort of winger, mate, you put it in an area and it's up to the rest of the team, innit?
Aye, they've got to make clean going, pick the lines and create space, a trick and using his pace as well. But they've got to, like they did the weekend, mate, they've got to fill that box for him. Because he will make the chances, that wee guy. He will make a lot of chances for Rangers. It's just going to be make sure that box is full, like it was against Murn, mate. Because if we play anywhere near that level tonight, mate, we'll beat them. We'll beat them. I don't doubt that one bit. We've got in your quota, Dragicevic, even Gassama's form, mate, it's been, a breath of fresh air as well. And Nadiri getting his goal at the weekend, hopefully that'll lift the big fella as well. We've got players in the box, mate, with 5 different goal scorers at the weekend. So, let's go and score. Try and finish this tie tonight and get comfortable.
Play at a tempo, important.
Oh, aye, that's one thing that I've spoke to yourselves and the boys about loads of times on the show. Was this walking football that's been killing me, mate. Absolutely killing me. I always say, mate, speed kills, and if you move the ball quickly and you've got players like Yakota and Gassama who are absolute speed demons doing them wings. No team likes to play against it. No defender likes to play against pace. And if you're moving the ball quick and they're doing doggies on about chasing you all over the place, as long as your passing's correct, mate, make them work their backsides off with chasing you over the pitch, and the game becomes stretched, it becomes easier, your confidence grows. I know that this team can go on from strength to strength. As you touched on, Sterling's the longest serving player in that squad tonight. So it's like almost a full new teammates there. So it's time
I
this
think there's only
team
one
started
guy.
coming together. Yeah, it's
I
time this
think there's
team
only
came
one
together,
guy
mate.
played away. I think there's only one guy played away against Bruges. I think that's Gassama, mate, last year. It's frightening,
Yeah.
really.
Mhm. It's a lot of change, mate. A lot of change. In such a quick period. But this is it. It's just a chance, mate. They've got to go and grab it with both hands, and they want to keep their place. Show the manager, show the fans. You want to keep their place.
What I will say, we see that Big Godfrey's not got to start. I think Derek intimated at the weekend it could be a wee bit earlier this Thursday, but hopefully back available for selection next Thursday. That would be a boost, mate.
I seen that. I seen that there was a chance he might have made the bench tonight, but he was quite. I think he was more confident, wasn't he? As you said, for next Thursday. Aye, the experience Godfrey's got, mate. I don't doubt the boy's quality. I don't doubt. I think he's a good sign. That I really do. He's that experienced element we keep talking about that backline needs. The trouble is, this is what I'm saying. If Fernandez hits any of the form that he's got, and Macania, he had a great start to his Rangers career. It's a good headache to have, mate, having these centre backs at that level, and they're all at decent age. They've all got pace. That's another thing about centre backs, mate. They've all got pace, which is a rare commodity being a centre half. But the manager's got a headache in his hands in the next few weeks. We've got to coming back, mate. But it's a good headache to have.
I still think we need another centre half in, mate. I don't think we can go with what we've got. I really don't. But maybe that'll be down to some outs. But we'll get 3 and we'll get 2 utility players. And I don't think we've got enough natural centre halves, mate.
No, I would rather another centre back myself, mate. A proper centre back. And I know I seen a few podcasts and that during the week, and I reading quite a wee bit as well. And people were saying Sterling can go in there, Ross McCrory can go in there, and I'm like, behave yourself. Not what we're trying to get to. Just leave them as utility players. As you touched on it, Sterling can get into that midfield role if we ever need him in there, and so could Ross McCrory. Stephen Gerrard used him for a time as well. Now I'd rather see a proper centre back in, mate. Again, another one of a certain age. As I say, an experienced centre back would be my wish. But as I said, you said as well, I think there'll be a few need to go. Like Suter's so far out of the picture, mate. I think quicker we get him off the books, the better. Then you might find somebody else might come in to replace him.
Why don't you give us a call on 01?
Oh, apologies there. I was doing a Bridgeman. John Suter. I don't know if we'll see him in a Rangers jersey again, mate. And it's not a tail. It's not a tail we want to go down. But I get your point, mate. I just think we need a centre half. personally don't think Sterling, I've seen Ross play in there for a while, but don't think he ever looks comfortable at centre back. I actually don't think he's a natural defender. I've said a few times on the show. But well. Again, for Dan Deal, mate, he's no started great. You know, he's a couple of okay passes, but you want him heavily involved. You want to be saying, right, this boy's a player. But we're not been able to say that yet, eh?
No, not so far. And I was probably quite harsh on him the last time I was on the show, basically comparing it to Joe Rothwell. You know what I mean? But, so far, mate, he's not shown me anything to change my opinion on that. I hope through playing alongside, these players week in, week out and training with them every day, that improves big time. He's probably a safe, comfortable pair of hands, mate. I think he moves the ball all right. My only trouble with Daniel, mate, is I think he's a very, very one-paced. I think he's a safe player. I think he's safe. And I think that's me being, that's as honest as I can be, mate, for all I've seen so far. So far, he looks safe. He'll keep the ball, he'll knock it side to side, he'll knock it forward tidily, 5-10 yard passes. But I don't think you'll see him like the way, Vanya was busting a gut to get beyond, get to the edge of the box and have a pop and stuff. I don't think he's that type of player. But if he's sitting, mate, and Chukwani and Dragicevic are the ones that's going to be told to get forward and get them bodies in the box, and I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. That's what happened on Saturday against St Mirren. I was happy with it then. So if Daniel comes down instead of the sitting role, then I'm happy with it. Just keep the ball moving quick though.
I see if that looks like a 3 to me, because Chukwani played to the left of Raskin at the weekend. And obviously, Vanya, as you're calling him, which is maybe easier, played in the right, mate. Yeah. And
yeah.
So for that, mate, you move about I don't really think you need a sitter. I think the trouble with that is if somebody does sit deep, and you've only got that 2 in there, and you end up what we had away in Poland, mate. You end up with a straight line up the park. If somebody goes forward up the middle and somebody's sitting in the middle and somebody's behind him, then anybody who's doing left or right, you're in trouble. So I like the 3 to work as a 3, mate. Yeah.
Aye, I think that's what I mean. I said that earlier on. I think Chukwani's the one that's got the sort of role where he sort of can go in between the two, in between Vanya and Daniel. And as you said, it keeps that compact in there and keeps it, not the vertical line, the horizontal line as we want. And as you said, if they're going to sit in, then Daniel doesn't need to sit. I agree with that as well. He can, as I said, what I enjoyed against St Mirren as well, we did, and I spoke to you about it last time I was on the show. I'd like, because we've got pace at centre backs, Sterling's get pace, Penright's get pace. We can play 20, 30 yards at times, Oxford further up the pitch. We don't need to sit so deep. So that was another thing I noticed against St Mirren. We were sitting a much higher line because we've got pace. We don't need to worry about getting caught in behind it at times. So that's another thing I want to see as well. I want to see him again. If Jablonec's going to sit and try and make it difficult and stuffy with this low block, then get that team 20, 30 yards further up the park and squeeze them in there and just get the ball moving from left to right. And then, as I said, your Kota, Gassama, Chukwani, Vanya, get them on the ball as much as you can and penetrate them. I think it's a very rare commodity in the defensive game. I think it's a quality you need now, is speed and with your defenders.
Here, mate. Here. Listen, mate, how do you see this going tonight? It's not a walk in the park. None of the game is teams in the Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia, mate. Slovakia, Czech Republic now is it split to, that part of the world. They're always good technically, yeah. And it's never a certainty. So you've got to get here with the right attitude and play the right pace and put the ball in the net.
No, I don't think. Seen any European tournaments, Oxford, I know we're in the conference version of the tournament this year, right? But any team that's in Europe are well organised, drilled side, as you said, from that part of the world, Czech Republic. They churn out, for such a small country, mate. Croatia's the same, Slovenia, Slovakia. All these teams all seem to churn out great national teams. They all do well in World Cups, they all do well in European Championships for such small countries, since it always split up into what it is now. So they'll always be well drilled, mate. They'll be well organised. They'll be hard to break down. I don't do that for 1 minute. But we have to concentrate on our game. And I know the manager will get his first win at the weekend. But it was a good dominant win against the current holders of the cup. It should be a good wee confidence builder for our team. And it showed you the blueprint of, if you play like this and move the ball the way you did and score goals, then that's how you beat these teams, obviously.
It's quite a simple philosophy, really, yeah.
Aye, it's not a hard game. It's not a hard game. Definitely not.
Who do you think is going to be the main players tonight, mate? Who do you think is going to perform?
First and foremost, mate, it's through the spine team I'm going to go here. I'm going to, pander. I've seen some things on social media, mate, that people on the too sure pander yet, right? I'm quite happy with him. I think he looks, he's young. He's very young in goalkeeping terms. So I think, he's only going to get better, mate. He's only going to get better. But I like what I see. I like his footwork. I don't worry about him. He very rarely gives the ball away. He likes the ball at his feet. He's just like this modern sweeper keeper. And I like it. I like it, mate, because we can move the ball about. We can start the attacks for him a lot quicker. It's a lot different to when Butland used to be their goalkeeper. A lot of time he's kicking the ball at the park and immediately giving up possession. And then Macania, who's been off to a cracking start. Fernandez, I think them two have got to be solid in it again, mate. They've got to speak to each other. Communication, mate, again, very important tonight. And Dragicevic, I want him to kick on for his performance at the weekend. So I think he's going to be massive. And Chukwani again, mate. Again, I want him to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. But tonight, mate, I think we're two biggest threats are going to be Gassama and Yakota. That's who I think our two biggest threats are going to be tonight. Two wide men.
Can I ask you a question, mate, for the weekend?
Yeah.
See when Gassman had his great effort at hitting the bar. Should he have took the shot or not, in your opinion?
Mate, I think it opened up. I think it opened up. You've got to, mate. You've got to have a go.
Game's all about opinions, mate. Yeah.
How do you know? Do you know? I think you should. Do you know? I think you should have took the shot on.
I think that goal's 1 in 50. Would that be fair? 1 in 20.
Aye.
I think if you slide Pendergrass in, it's a goal 1 in 10.
Aye, that's fair. That's fair. I suppose that's fair. But as I say, I think
I get it, mate. I get it.
We've seen him score goals like that before. Aye.
No,
and I think the way it's opened up for him, he's been like that. I mean, you're talking like a paint, and it's half underside of the bar and it's in. You know what I mean? So, no, but I understand what you're saying. Penrice could have probably slipped in, and aye, he'd have probably had a chance as well. But, he's... I really enjoyed him at the weekend, mate, James Penrice. I've got to give him a big special mention tonight. I really, for a boy that only signed 24 hours before that game and thrown straight in, and I know he's played in Scotland, I know he knows the league and stuff, but he didn't know that team. And it looked like he'd been playing there for a couple of years, mate. Honestly, it looked like me, like he seemed to understand Gassama, he seemed to understand, the midfield. As I said to you, I see him getting tore into Fernandez a couple of times, which I really enjoyed. No, mate, he was excellent.
Yeah, I thought he'd done well, mate. I thought he'd done really well. And I thought the second half, I thought young Finlay Curtis come on. I'm not saying he was 9 out of 10, but I thought he did really good second half. Improved the team. And I might find himself to be a wee bit unlucky about the team tonight because of his second half performance. But if Yakota's got the jersey in front of him, it's up to Finlay's to grab it. For one half, the manager might not be enough for him, but if you start to have a level of consistency, you're in pushing for a start. which hopefully pushes on your quota, which is all a good thing, mate, isn't it?
Well, that's just it. That's just it. Your quota style of play, mate. Right now, I think the wee man's out on his feet around about the 65 minute mark. Now, he's only going to get fitter. So what Finley's got to try and do here, mate, is when Derek McInnes is changing your quota out, to maybe freshen up, Finley Curtis is going to need to try and grab this with two hands, mate, and try and out the wee man. Which is probably going to be a hard job right now, the form the wee man's on the now, because when the wee man's fully fit, I don't believe your quota's fully fit yet, Oxford. So I think there's still another 20% maybe to come out of that wee man. So Finley's going to have a bit of a tough time in his hand, probably try to out the wee guy at the team. But do you know one thing Finley's got, mate? I've heard you mention it several times on various shows. He always seems to get in positions that look dangerous, doesn't he? Where it's, it opens up for him for a goal or whatever he does when he's taking on players, the game seems to open up for him, mate. And I know that's his ability, he's opening up the game for himself as well, but there's something about Finley Curtis for me, mate, that makes me think there's a chance that boy's going to get a goal. And I'm not saying every game, but I feel like he can score more regular, Finley Curtis. So he's going to need to just bide his time, mate, and wait his turn, I think. But he's not far away.
There's guys like that, mate. Bizarrely, innit? It just happens for them, and you scratch your head and you say, how did he score two?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Aye, 100%, mate. That's what I mean. I don't know. I don't know what it's about, mate. It's just sometimes I watch him and I'm like, young boy's done well. Great to come on. Like last year, that was very brave of him going and taking that risk of going out alone. But he wanted games. I've seen his interview during the week as well. He wanted games, and I think it's worked out in his benefit because he's obviously went to the first team this year, permit from the start of the season. But I always feel like, mate, he's either going to make one or score one, and that's a good thing to have.
Aye, and he has got a good attitude about him, Finley, they leave everything there. We want that for all our players, So, right, how do you see it panning out tonight, mate?
I think it'll be tight and stuffy, mate, but I'm going to a strong Rangers win, mate. A strong Rangers win. Do you want to score?
If you fancy it, mate, if you want to get it.
I'm going to give a wee 3-1.
You want all Southside will be looking for you. Mate, I want us to win both halves, mate. Is that a lot to ask?
No, I think we're still looking for 90 minutes, aren't we? Again, it's been a long time since we've seen this team complete 90 minutes. Oxford, I don't think it's a unfair thing to ask. The game does last 90 minutes. And the reason I want to see it, mate, I want to see it. I don't want to just see it in fits and starts and spells. I want to see a dominant, pacey, quick performance from start to finish.
Yeah. Come back to your Pandor point. I don't think he's been at fault for any goals. Some of them have looked good, like the one in Poland when it came across the box and goes in the corner, because it's not meant to do that, and it's a deflection and it goes through somebody's legs. I actually don't think he's made a howler, mate. I really don't.
No, he's not. He's not, and a lot of the criticism that I've seen, unfair in my opinion, anyway. I know I've seen a lot of ones say after the Hibs game, he should have been doing to that one that Hibs scored as well, because it seemed to go over the goal line at a snail's pace. But if it's in a corner like that, mate, it's very difficult. If he sets himself,
took a nick,
and it goes, I'm sure it took deflection as well, aye. So it's took that nick again, and it's took it away from him. But I think, me personally, mate, he's agile, he's good with the ball at his feet. He's a modern keeper, Oxford. And I'm going to say this now, for a long time since we've had a keeper with good foot workability like that. Because it wasn't that one Alan McGregor's strong points, it wasn't one Andy Goram's strong point for his feet. Andy Goram save a lot with his feet, but his distribution wasn't as good as Pandor's. That's one thing I like about Pandor.
Goram wasn't bad with the ball at his feet, mate.
I've said he was all right, but
remember his age, mate. The game changed while he was playing, mate.
Aye, it did. It definitely did.
Goram was a bit. I'll keep it simple for you here. Pandor or Butland?
Pandor for me.
100%. Mate, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't even need to think about that option. I know people maybe out there arguing, will say Butland was more a presence and all this carry on, but even coming for things in the box, I think Pandor looks more confident, mate, at coming for things. And I know he's a puncher. I don't mind that. I don't mind if he gets everything on it. So I don't. I know he's not the tallest, but I don't know. I don't. You don't see many of these big 6'4", 5" keepers anymore, mate. A lot of the keepers you do see. Arsenal's keeper David Raya, I think he's 5'7". You know, he's a tiny wee. He's been in it.
No,
He's not big, mate.
5'7", mate. Come on,
No.
mate.
He's 5'8", 5'9", whatever. He's not a big
Oh,
6 foot. That's what I'm getting
I'm
at.
going to have to check that out, yeah?
Right, Google it. Aye, go on.
Right, we're not
He's
going
not
to
big.
we're not going to
He's
get
not.
the answer to this. 5'7", mate.
He's not a 6 footer, mate. He's not a 6 footer.
Or is it
I know
David?
that. David Raya, Raya. He's a small guy, mate.
Right, Spanish footballer, David Raya.
Yeah.
Spanish goalkeeper. Arsenal, right. This is only going to be, I've not got a tape measure. I'm going to be Wikipedia, yeah? Right. He's 6 foot, mate.
Is he?
Aye.
Is he that big?
Aye.
Eh,
6
doesn't
foot.
look 6 feet, mate. Doesn't look 6
I
feet.
would say that the reason you're thinking he's so small, the vast majority of the players in that Premier League, mate, 6'1", 6'2", mate. Yeah?
Right, aye.
So he's not as big as most of his teammates, so he does it, you know. I'll give you that's my
fair.
excuse. I'm trying to give you. So when the camera's going along the line, you look smaller, but you're 5'7".
Nah.
I'd be putting Lionel Cameron in and go.
Aye. What height's Pandor then? Because he didn't look 6 foot either.
I would say about
Aye.
6'1", mate. Yeah.
Right, okay. Aye, maybe it's just because, as you said, I mean, they stand beside Fernandez and Macania, and then David Raya stand beside Saliba and Gabriel. I suppose stand next to the big dudes. You're going to look small.
Aye. Let me see. It will come up, mate. Let me just look at this before we go. Aye, he is. According to Wikipedia again.
Yep.
He's 6'2", mate.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Again, he just looks, I don't know, just looks smaller in stature, doesn't he? I like him, but mate, I like him.
5'7". Oh dear, we like to see some of your vision, mate.
I've got a height complex, mate. It's because I'm so small, I think. I don't want anybody bigger than me.
That's a giant myself, mate, but 5'6". My goalkeeper in the Premier League. Been a talk of the place. Right, mate. You went for a 3-1 victory last word, mate.
3-1 victory. Aye, 3-1 victory, mate. Aye, let's go and do it. And thanks for having us on, mate. I'll speak to you after.
Well, listen, thanks to Port for doing the show, and of course, Fox and All School Blues sitting in the background. Rangers Radio will be back 15 minutes after the final whistle with a Rangers victory. Take it away, All School Blue.
Why don't you give it?
As we go marching down the Paisley Road west, the doors and the windows open wide, you will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. As we go marching down the Paisley Road West, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me.